जी आयां नूं खुश आमदीद वैलकम दोस्तों। मैं तुहाडा दोस्त अमरीक सोफी। सो अज आपां गल करनी है बलविंदर सफरी होना बारे, जो कि सानू 26 जुलाई 2022 नूं सदीवी विछोड़ा दे गए सन। साड़ी बड़ी तमन्ना सी कि उन्हां नाल इंटरव्यू कीती जावे, पर मौका रब ने नहीं दिता। पर अज साडे दरम्यान मौजूद ने उन्हां दी वाइफ निक्की अते बेटी प्रिया। सो तुहाडी गलबात अज कराउंदे आ उन्हां नाल। लो फिर तुहानूं लै के चलदे आ दोस्तों उन्हां दे वल।
Hi, my name is Ruby and I'm here with Priya and Nikki today. Welcome Priya and welcome Nikki. And I'm here also on behalf of GAJ Records. How are you?
We're good, thank you. Thanks, Ruby, for asking us to come today.
You're more than welcome. So as you know, we're here to talk about Safri G. As we all know, he was an absolute legend with his music. And so we're here just to basically remember him and talk about his life with you and how you actually know him. So why don't you both, first I'll ask you Nikki and then I'll come on to you Priya. So Nikki, can you tell me how long you have known Safri G for?
I've known Safri for 17 years now.
So Priya, if you would like to tell me what your relationship is with Safri G.
So basically, he was just like a dad that I never had.
Okay.
You know, and people from outside, they think that he's the typical strict dad, but no, he was not like that at all. He was the most humble, you know, the most funniest, caring. I'd say emotional is probably on the top of the list, but yeah, he was the best, literally.
And you then obviously had a very good relationship with him.
He was my best friend. We was like so close.
Wow, that's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, can you perhaps describe some funny moments that you and Safri G shared yourself, and you Nikki? I mean, what were the funny moments?
Well, on a Tuesday, we used to have it's Tuesday, wasn't it? Takeout. And we used to go all the way up to Tibidale. There was a fish and chip shop there that we always used to sit and eat. But we used to take our pande,
Really?
plates, forks, sare naal leke gaddi ch baith ke khana. And he didn't care कि आले दोले देख दिया या whatever. We had the weird looks, didn't we?
Literally.
तो फिर जब ओदी बारी हुंदी सी के पैसे देने नो, go on.
So
What used to
basically, when like it was his turn to pay, he was so stingy, it's unreal. Like, you know the 20 nuggets in the box from McDonald's that you could get? He
Okay.
made the three of us share 20 nuggets.
His budget was £10, but
Okay.
खाली
Yeah.
10 pound खर्चने से.
That's it. So like we would obviously be starving after that, and he'd be loving it. At least I paid for food.
Do you think
that's what he would
those
like.
were the comical moments that you had with him, where he was more sort of quite down to earth, had a bit of a laugh and a joke with you?
Yeah.
And these were the moments where you could really laugh and share those moments with him, because he was just funny, wasn't he? He sounds like a really funny person.
But
So-
literally his budget was £10 for
Really?
the three of us, huh?
So you would go all the way to Tibidale with your pande.
No, when we used to pay, क्योंकि भी बारी ऐसी मतलब
अच्छा,
करते
अच्छा, अच्छा.
So साड़ी वाली 30-40 पौंड लग जाते थे
But when it came to Safri G,
10 पौंड खाली 10
bus,
हाँ.
that was your budget.
So
By a car.
10 pound,
no,
3 जाने. So chicken
Okay.
nuggets,
Okay.
2 boxes of chicken
Yeah.
nuggets.
That was our treat from
That
him.
was a treat.
So I understand, and we all understand that Safri G was a legend in his music. We all know that his music was absolutely fantastic, and we all enjoyed it. But what kind of music did he listen to apart from his own? What other music did he really enjoy? You know, was there any other bands that he liked listening to? Any English music that he liked listening to? Just give me sort of, a bit about what other music he really, really enjoyed.
Can I just say first that obviously Priya will tell you more about that. You know the music that youngsters were taking out and stuff. He actually supported the youngsters with the new Punjabi Bhangra music and stuff.
Okay.
Even though he was old school, but he always encouraged them and like supported them in many ways that he
So
could.
he was a mentor as well.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he
Okay.
really supported them.
Okay.
Or we upanated that, na? But the me time, obviously it was more with Priya, because it was like living with 2 kids when they used to just chill out and stuff.
So, Priya, what kind of music did you both really enjoy listening to on TV?
It was a bit of everything, you know,
Really?
like old school R&B and the stuff that was out before I was even born, like Boy George.
Okay.
And he-
Wow, we used to listen to Boy George.
Yeah, he
That's
loved
amazing.
it. He
Okay.
would make me put it on when Mum would be like asleep,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, put YouTube on, and honest to God, he would sit there and dance.
Okay.
He would dance to the beat, sing it out loud. He couldn't remember the whole song,
Uh-huh.
but he tried to sing it. It was his jokes.
It's mad because it's almost like he was in two different eras. He had
Yeah.
his era, and then he was more so into
The
today's
younger
era, wasn't he?
generation, yeah.
And the fact that he's been a mentor and
To the
he's
young-
to the
youngsters,
so that's
yeah.
a lot of encouragement there.
I mean, there's quite a few people around the world that used to contact him. You know, Uncle Ji, can you help us? And I believe they used to give the
So he used to give a lot of
samples
advice.
as well, yes, which was nice to know. Okay, he was there helping up and youngsters kind of thing, you know.
That's really beautiful to hear. So, Nikki and Priya, I'd like to both take you back to when Safri G fell ill and he was admitted to hospital. So, really, I just want to understand, and I suppose everybody wants to understand, what led him into admission. Why did he go to hospital? You know, what happened?
So basically, what happened was in COVID, as everybody was indoors and stuff, he was having pain, but we didn't know what it was. जितना अपने कदे कदे के gas या कोई indigestion ऐसा कोई he was saying something was happening. 4-5 दिन लगातार जिसे देसी नुक्ते नहीं होंगे, like basically home remedies वो करते सीगे क्योंकि समझ नहीं होंगे कि चक्कर किसी पे एक दिन उन्होंने बिठा लिया कि हमें तेनू हुंदा की पिया आया because something wasn't right.
And how long did that go on for?
No, in COVID, which
Okay.
it started in COVID, है
In
ना?
COVID. So we're talking about March 2020 when COVID kicked in,
Huh,
if I recall.
yeah.
Okay.
So, because you know, his तौर तरीका वो सही नहीं सीगा. Obviously, घर से क्या वहाँ पे फिर उन्हें बैठ के जब बच्चे ने बिठा लिया कि हमें तो हुंदा तेनू होया किया.
Okay.
So जो सानू दस साल पे मेरे इत्थे दर्द हुंदी है, ऐदा हुंदी है. Obviously, alarm bells because you're talking about your heart. So we
Okay.
rang the ambulance, and according to the ambulance people, he was suffering a heart attack. But he didn't know
Wow,
that.
okay.
We didn't know that. When the ambulance did come, monitors live again, she was sat on the stairs. She was crying her eyes out. Okay, what's going on? So they admitted him in hospital. Uthi unhone 10 stent live the same day. So
Did you say 10? That's
3.
3. Thin. Okay.
Stent live.
So all this pain, if I can just take you back
Yeah.
again, you know, Ben Arasi Jarasi and all these remedies that he was using.
He thought it was something else.
this the onset of the heart attack, but you didn't know about
That's correct,
it?
yes, Hanji.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So obviously when he got to hospital, when we found out that this is what's happening, obviously we were like in shock, how the hell has this happened, you know? But that's how it started to do with his heart. So
Okay.
from that, then onwards,
ਫਿਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ?
so
Then what
basically when he was in hospital, we decided ਇਹਨੂੰ ਉੱਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ upstairs ਨਹੀਂ ਭੇਜਣਾ ਪੌੜੀਆਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਰੱਬ ਨਾ ਕਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਐਸੀ ਵੈਸੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ.
So was
We brought
was
the bed
Safri G
downstairs.
admitted into hospital? Was it a daycare? Was he released? I mean, how
No,
did
no,
that?
no. He stayed in hospital for 7 days.
And which hospital was this?
That was City Hospital.
City Hospital.
Yeah.
So they basically treated him for the 7 days and then discharged him, and he came home.
ਹਾਂਜੀ.
And at this point, he did. Oh, am I right in saying that he was upstairs and then you brought him
ਹਾਂ
downstairs?
ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਹਾਰਟ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈ he
Okay.
could have had a heart attack ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਿਆ ਨੇ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਯੂ نو ਵਾ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੀ ਬੈਡ ਥੱਲੇ ਰਹੇਗੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸੀਗੀ ਯੂ نو ਹਾਰਟ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਦਿਸ ਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਅਦਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ
Okay.
ਸੋ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਘਰ ਆਏ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੱਲੇ ਬਾਤਾ ਕਿ ਲੁੱਕ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਸਟੇ
Of
ਹੇਅਰ
course, yeah.
ਬਾਥਰੂਮ ਨੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਸੀਗਾ ਸੋ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਤੰਗੀ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ
Take, yeah.
So it was from then ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ heart problems ਵਗੈਰਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ. So that's the root of the cause of why he was admitted in hospital.
Okay.
So all the way through COVID ਹੈ ਨਾ we were in and out of hospital. ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ COVID ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਘੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟ 9 stents ਪੈ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਸੀਗੇ within COVID time.
Oh wow.
So ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਰਜਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ it's better ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ triple bypass ਕਰੀਏ. Right? Obviously ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਟ੍ਰਿਪਲ ਬਾਈਪਾਸ ਹੋਣਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਡਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ.
So if I can just stop you there, I just want to take you back to the time that you said that he was in the house. He had already had his 3 stents in. You'd brought him downstairs into the living room, and then was everything
Hotel lava.
right? So then he was. Are you saying he was readmitted? Did his health deteriorate? You said that zyada kharab ho gayi.
ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੋਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ ਸੀਗੀ.
Right, and then
Yeah.
what happened?
So basically it was at the point of ਜਦੋਂ COVID ਵੀ ਲੰਘ ਗਿਆ right
Okay.
ਕਿ shows ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਗਏ right everybody knows ਪੰਜਾਬੀ singer ਹੈ ਵਗੈਰਾ whatever so we decided ਕਿ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਗੱਡੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜਣਾ ਕਿ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਗਾ ਹਰ
Of
ਵੇਲੇ
course,
ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ
understandable.
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵਿਚਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ
Okay.
ਉਹ very private person ਸੀਗਾ so obviously he didn't want his business to go out ਹੈ ਨਾ So what we were doing is ਉਹਦੀਆਂ ਦਵਾਈਆਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਜੇਬ 'ਚ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ
Okay. Of
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ
course,
ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਕਿ
absolutely.
heart spray whatever ਜੋ ਵੀ ਸੀਗਾ right and that used to be with him constantly he would be on the phone ਕਿ ਠੀਕ ਠਾਕ ਹੈ whatever so driver used to pick him up driver ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਚੱਕਰ ਕੀ ਆ
So what you're saying to me is Safri G continued with
Huh.
his music whilst
Shows.
he was ill, really?
Basically, yeah.
And he made sure that he had all his medication
of
on
course
him. Of course.
we made sure that was all
absolutely.
done yes
Okay. So yeah, continue.
I
with
mean he
that.
was quite stubborn ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਡੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣੀ ਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਮਿੰਟ ਤੱਕ we said no health comes first
Of course.
so listening to us and you know knowing that we're there for him he did take advice and drivers was good but we made sure there was one driver
Okay. So did then Safri did you continue with his concerts? Was he still out in public?
yeah
Was it
shows ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ yeah
That was very brave of him, considering
course,
that he
he's-
had this heart attack. He's had 3 stents in his heart, and that's a serious operation.
he didn't have a heart attack it was a building up to
So
a
it was
heart
the
attack
onset.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
Take. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what you
yeah.
mean.
Mhm.
So yeah, so he continued. If you want to just talk a bit more
yeah
about
so
that.
basically the surgeon turned around and said he needs a triple bypass
So did his health deteriorate for the surgeon to make that decision?
it's not deteriorate he kept having blockages you see
अच्छा सो तकलीफ हो रही सी
हाँ.
फिर भी और तो बाद भी तकलीफ हो रही सी
Yeah.
ठीक okay
so obviously you know age and everything whatever है ना?
okay
but it had nothing to do with drinking because I think people don't know the truth they think oh you know he's drinking and it's got gear but I can honestly say
ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ
नहीं
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ
but
ਦੇਖੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਖਾਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਖਰਾਕ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਆ we have a lot we love our food let's be honest ਸਮੋਸੇ ਦਾਲਾਂ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ this is all a build up of food so anything could have triggered
and
it
yeah but I just want to clarify it had nothing to do with that at the
Okay.
end of the day है ना
ठीक
ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਰਜਨ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸੱਦਿਆ obviously ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ take your time think about it but we took 2 months it was Safri's choice ਕਿ ਮੈਂ operation ਕਰਨਾ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਿ the risks and the
based on the
हाँ, so
diagnosis that
everything,
doctors
हाँ.
were giving him that you know you have to have a bypass obviously they've seen something
but it
so
was
Safri G
Safri's
that
choice.
made the decision at the
Yes.
end ठीक okay
ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਹਾਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਨਾ ਨਾ ਕੀਤੀ it was his decision it's
ठीक.
his body but we supported whatever he wanted
okay
so that was the reason why he ended up in hospital was for a triple bypass
Okay, and so how long was that between the first heart attack and then he was...
no he didn't have a heart attack
Well, at the onset, sorry, the onset of the
it
heart
was 2
attack?
years
Two,
it was
okay.
going on for 2 years
Right. And then so he was readmitted at City or was he
no
readmitted?
we were seen at New Cross
So am I right in saying that Safri G made the decision to have the bypass? It was
That's
his
correct.
choice?
Hanji.
ठीक, okay. So tell me a little bit about the time that Safri G was admitted into hospital with a coma.
so basically ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਡੇਟ ਆ ਗਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਟ੍ਰਿਪਲ ਬਾਈਪਾਸ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਗਏ ਟ੍ਰਿਪਲ ਬਾਈਪਾਸ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਕਸੈਸਫੁਲ ਸੀਗਾ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ 7 ਆਵਰਸ ਦਾ ਆਪਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ICU ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਹੀ ਸਫਰਡ ਅਨਦਰ ਹਾਰਟ ਅਟੈਕ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਜੂਸ਼ ਕੋਮਾ 'ਚ ਪਾਤਾ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਬੀਇੰਗ ਇਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਛਾਤੀ ਖੋਲ੍ਹਣੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਟੂ ਸੋਟ ਦਾ ਹਾਰਟ ਆਊਟ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕਾਲ ਆਇਆ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਡੋਨਟ ਨੋ ਕਿ ਬਚਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਾਈਟ
Okay.
ਸੋ ਦਿਸ ਵਾਸ ਅ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਉਹ ਸਜੂਸ਼ ਕੋਮਾ 'ਚ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ ਸਰ ਕਿ 3 ਦਿਨ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ ਕਿ we need the body to rest up ਹੈ ਨਾ and then after that we'll take him out the coma but after I think 2 weeks he didn't wake up ਉੱਠਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ
So he remained in that coma.
ਜੀ
So what happened sort of during that period of time? I mean, what kind of... It must have been a very difficult time, obviously. Your support groups, people obviously got to find out about the coma, if I'm right,
basically
yeah?
ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸੀਗੀ obviously ਹੈ ਨਾ it's our loved one ਹੈ ਨਾ ਐਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਲੋ ਕਿ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ you know he's going to be fine and everything ਅਸੀਂ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ close family friend ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਤਾਂ social media ਤੇ ਸੀਗਾ
So then everybody, because I did hear this, everybody got to know that
That's
Safri was
correct.
Everybody got
in a
to know,
coma.
yeah so it's not we kept it away from them but ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ process ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੋ ਕਿ what's happening you know he's going to come out of a coma this and the other but it got leaked out basically
Okay.
which is not a problem but it's the way it was done
The way
Okay.
it happened.
ਦੂਸਰੀ
basically.
ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਗਏ ਵੀ ਡਾਕਟਰਸ ਨੇ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ 17 ਸਾਲ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੱਟੇ ਆ ਰਾਈਟ ਮੂੰਹ ਨਾਲ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਉਹ ਜਾਨ ਉਹਦੇ ਬੋਡੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ देयर So why should we have them to turn the machines off? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely,
obviously,
yeah.
you know, with the ਉੱਥੇ ਬਾਕੀ
And I
ਸਭ-
understand you spent a lot of time in hospital with Safri G. They actually gave you a separate bed where you were able to look after him, take care of him, make sure that you just basically overall take care of him.
Yeah,
Is that right? And
That's right.
that's huge. That is absolutely huge. How long were you in hospital for?
3.5 months. 3.5 ਮਹੀਨੇ.
And Safri G, during that process, did he come out of his coma, or was he still in his coma during that period of time?
Basically 10 ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਕੋਮੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹੇ in ICU ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ obviously ਰੋਜ਼ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਸ 3 weeks ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 4 ਵਾਰੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਬਚਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ so overnight I was in ICU but Safri being Safri he pulled through every time and then but after 3 weeks they said ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ and the decision was ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਆ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਪੂਰਾ ਹੋਣਾ they saying then why don't I take him home so
And what can I just take you back a little bit there, Nikki? What were the reasons for them to say that they wanted to switch his machines off?
because they said he was not reacting he wouldn't
Okay.
wake up from the coma he's brain dead he suffered a heart attack kidney failure basically ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ this wrong with him but we were telling him ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ he's there ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਡਾਕਟਰਸ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਸਫਰੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੂੰਜਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ at the end of the day right ਕਿਉਂਕਿ being a singer
Absolutely.
so ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਿਆ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਦੇ 4-5 ਚੰਗੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ we told them basically to send a voice message obviously if they're ringing Safri but they were sending it to me to say to wake up we've got to
So it's a prompting mechanism.
Of
You're
course.
prompting
We-
by giving him memories, people, familiar
No,
voices,
memories nahi,
familiar
ke-
voices, videos.
but it was like ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ he's sleeping right ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਦਾ ਦੋਸਤ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਹੇ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਫਰੀ ਸੇ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਆ ਹੱਸ ਮਜ਼ਾਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਆ ਤੇ
Yeah, yeah.
something like this
ਹੈਲੋ ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਫਰੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੈਰੀ ਪੈਣਾ ਭਾਜੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਸੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਢਿੱਲੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਦੁਆਵਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬਿਗ ਫੈਨ ਆ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਭਾਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਿੱਕੀ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਸਫਰੀ ਦਾ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਤਬੀਅਤ ਢਿੱਲੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਭਾਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੋਵੋ ਤੇ ਜਲਦੀ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਮਹੀਨੇ 1.5 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਆਵਾਂਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਲਵ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ ਭਾਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਬਾਬਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ 'ਚ ਰੱਖੇ ਜਲਦੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੋਵੋ ਤੇ ਜਲਦੀ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਭਾਜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਾਬਾਦ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ 'ਚ ਰਹੋ ਭਾਜੀ
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਫਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੋਪ ਯੂ ਗੈਟ ਵੈਲ ਸੂਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਰੱਬ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਮਿਹਰ ਕਰੇ ਹੋਪ ਯੂ ਗੈਟ ਵੈਲ ਸੂਨ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ ਚੱਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੱਖਣਾ ਗਰੋ ਪੰਦਾ ਚੱਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਸੋਹਣਿਆ ਗਰੋ ਪੰਦਾ ਐਂਡ get well soon and my dua and praise are with you Balwinder Safri Paji ਰੱਬ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਮਿਹਰ ਕਰੇ anyway and ਰੱਬ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਜਲਦ ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤ ਕਰ ਦੇਵੇ get well soon Paji get well soon my good wishes are with you get well soon from Sid Twilight Records UK
ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਫਰੀ ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਚਾਲ ਆ ਆ ਜਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਉਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮਿਲਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਰੋਨਾ ਜੋ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਲੰਡਨ ਆਊਂਗਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਮੈਂ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਜੌਲ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਭਰਾ ਜਲਦੀ ਉੱਠ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੜੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਾਂ ਤੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਜਾਂ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਲਦੀ ਚੱਕ ਦੇ ਫੱਟੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਆ ਜਲਦੀ ਓਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਵੇਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਭਰਾ ਨੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਲੰਡਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖੀ ਠੀਕ ਠਾਕ ਆ ਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਓਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਆ ਸਾਡਾ ਭਰਾਵਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਬਣਾਈ ਰੱਖੇ ਜਲਦੀ ਆਉਣਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਓਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਵੇਟ ਕਰਦਾ
ਸਫਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਛਾ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਲਾਈਕ ਆਈ ਸੈਡ ਬਿਫੋਰ ਸਾਡਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਰੈਡੀ ਹੈ ਤਮਾਲਾ ਪਾਰਟ 2 ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਆਈ ਜਸਟ ਨੀਡ ਯੋਰ ਗਾਈਡ ਵੋਕਲਸ ਟੂ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ ਸੌਂਗ ਆਫ ਅਤੇ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੀਏ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਅਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਕ ਆਈ ਸੈਡ ਰੈਡੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਸਿਰਫ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਵੇਟ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਕਰੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਠ ਜਾਓ है ना. Whole world is waiting for you.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸਾਫਰੀ ਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਰੁਪਿੰਦਰ simplypangra.com ਜਿਹੜੀ ਯੂਕੇ ਦੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਆ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਬੰਬੇ ਤੋਂ. ਸਾਫਰੀ ਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਆਰਟਿਸਟਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਯੂਕੇ ਤੋਂ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਬੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਫੈਨ ਰਿਹਾ ਬੜੇ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ. ਮੈਨੂੰ 18 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਯੂਕੇ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ, ਭੰਗੜਾ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ, ਅਤੇ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਮੈਂ ਫੋਲੋ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ. ਈਵਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡੀ ਵੀ ਫੈਨ ਨੇ. ਅਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ 31 ਮਈ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਡੇ, ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਪਲਾਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. ਅਤੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਡੇ ਲਈ ਕੁਛ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਮੈਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਤੋਂ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੁਛ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਪਲੀਜ਼, ਅਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਘਰ ਆ ਜਾਓ. ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਫਿਕਰ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ, ਘਰ ਛੇਤੀ ਆ ਜਾਓ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ.
ਹੈਲੋ, ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸਫਰੀ ਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਬਲਬੀਰ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਪਚੰਗੀ ਗਰੁੱਪ. ਟੈਲੀਫੋਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਕਦੇ, ਇੱਕ ਬੜੇ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਯਾਰ. ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਆਇਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਭਾਖੜਿਆਂ ਦਾ, ਪ੍ਰੈਸਟਨ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਬਰਥਡੇ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਆ. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਫਰੀ ਬੋਈ ਅਤੇ ਪਚੰਗੀ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਨੂੰ ਬੁੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਅਤੇ ਯਾਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਤੋਂ ਜਲਦੀ.
ਉਹ ਯਾਰ ਬੰਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸਫਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ, ਕੋਈ ਹੈ ਮਾੜਾ ਮੋਟਾ? ਹੁਣ ਲੋਕੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਉਣ ਜਾਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ ਆ, ਆਪਾਂ ਚੱਲ ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਬਿੱਲੂ ਕੁਛ ਕਰੀਏ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ, ਹੈਂ? ਕੀ ਖਿਆਲ ਹੈ ਬੰਸੀ?
ਉਸਤਾਦ ਜੀ, ਆਪਾਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁਣ, ਅਤੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਓ ਫਟਾਫਟ.
ਹਾਂ, ਅਤੇ ਗਾਣਾ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਦਾ
ਨਵਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ.
ਨਵਾਂ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਕੀਤਾ
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਾਣਾ?
ਕਿਹੜਾ ਨਵਾਂ ਕੀਤਾ? ਨਵਾਂ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਇਹ ਬੜਾ ਸੀਕਰਟ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਯਾਰ.
ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਸਫਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ? ਲੋਕੀ ਤਾਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸਫਰੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਸਫਰੀ, ਪਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਪੁਰਾਣਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਯਾਰ ਦੋਸਤ, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪੁਰਾਣਾ ਯਾਰ ਦੋਸਤ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਬਿੱਲੂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਬਿੱਲੂ ਪਰਮਿੰਦਰ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਮੈਂ. ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਦ ਤੂੰ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚੋਂ ਆਇਆ, ਆਪਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕੀਤੇ, ਰਿਕਾਰਡਿੰਗਾਂ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਆਪਾਂ, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕੀਤੇ. ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਰਿਕਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਅਤੇ ਤਕੜਾ ਹੋ ਜਾ ਤੂੰ. ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠਣ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਜੀਅ ਕਰਦਾ, ਤੂੰ ਛੇਤੀ ਤਕੜਾ ਹੋ ਜਾ. ਕੈਸ਼ ਵੀ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਸਾਰੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ. ਆਈ ਲਵ ਯੂ ਬਿੱਲੂ.
Prompt him.
Yeah. So ਕਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਈਆਂ ਨੇ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਸੁਣਾਈ ਵੀ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ. And Priya will know this, as you know.
So when you're saying reaction, are you saying
He was
Safri
flinching.
G responded?
Huh.
Right, okay.
So we showed the doctor, how can you turn the machine off when he's there? You know, I mean, that's a big thing.
Of course.
You know, Kapil Sharma sent a message.
ਸਫਰੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਪੈਰੀ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ, ਔਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਤਬੀਅਤ ਥੋੜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਢਿੱਲੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਖੜੇ ਹੋ ਯਾਰ ਜਲਦੀ. ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਗਾਣੇ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਜਿਮ 'ਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਚੱਲਾਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਦੇਰ ਨੂੰ, ਤੇ ਚੰਨ ਮੈਨੇ ਵੱਖਣਾ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਵਾ, ਤੇ ਟ੍ਰੈਡਮਿਲ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੌੜਨਾ ਵਾ ਅੱਧਾ ਘੰਟਾ. ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੋਵੋ ਫਟਾਫਟ, ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਲਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਠੀਕ ਕਰੇ. ਔਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੜਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੈ ਭਾਜੀ, ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਹਾਲੇ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਖੂਬ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਟ ਫਾਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਓ, ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਭਾਜੀ. ਔਰ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੀਰ ਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤ ਔਰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰੱਖੇ, ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ. ਲਵ ਯੂ ਭਾਜੀ, ਔਰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਔਰ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰੱਖੇ, ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤ ਰੱਖੇ. ਬਸ ਗੈਟ ਵੈਲ ਸੂਨ ਭਾਜੀ, ਜਲਦੀ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ.
ਰਾਈਟ, ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਉੱਠ, ਠੀਕ ਹੋ, ਮੇਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਦੇਖ. ਅਸੀਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ICU ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਫੀ ਚੱਲ ਤੂੰ ਉੱਠ, ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਬੈੱਡ 'ਚ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਗੱਡੀ ਮੋੜ ਕੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਜਾਈ. ਯੂ ਨੋ, ਜੈਜ਼ੀਬੀ ਦਾ ਗਾਣਾ, ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਜੈਜ਼ੀਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ. ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆ. ਉਹਨੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਭੇਜੀ ਕਿ ਸਫਰੀ ਪਾ ਉੱਠ ਕਰ. ਜੈਜ਼ੀਬੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਹਾਸਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਫਰੀ ਤੂੰ ਉੱਠ, ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਲੈਂਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਤੂੰ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲ ਕੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਮੋੜ ਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਜਾਈ. ਜੈਜ਼ੀਬੀ ਦਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਆ, ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਜੈਜ਼ੀਬੀ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਈ. ਉਹਨੇ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਨੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਭੇਜੀ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸਫਰੀ ਭਾਜੀ, ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਮੇਰੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪਛਾਣੋਗੇ. ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਾਲਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ, ਦੁਰਗਾਪੁਰ ਵਾਲਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਜੈਜ਼ੀ ਬੀ ਬੋਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ. ਮਾਲਕ ਅੱਗੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਜੱਗ ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਅਰਦਾਸਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਡੀ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਆਇਆ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਡੀ ਮੋੜ ਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਫੇਵਰਿਟ ਗਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਦਦ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ ਸੋ ਇਸ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੀ ਘੜੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਅਰਦਾਸਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਭਾਜੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਉੱਠੋ ਤੇ ਆ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇਖਿਓ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਫੋਨ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਲੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫੋਟੋ ਭੇਜ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਫੋਟੋ ਦੇਖਿਓ ਤੇ ਪਛਾਣਿਓ ਕੌਣ ਕੌਣ ਆ ਫੋਟੋ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਕਦ ਦੀ ਫੋਟੋ ਆ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਮੈਮਰੀ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਵੇਟਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਯੂ ਦ ਹੋਲ ਵਰਲਡ ਇਜ਼ ਵੇਟਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਯੂ ਸਫਰੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਉੱਠ ਜਾਓ ਜਲਦੀ ਫਿਰ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ
ਤੇ ਸਫਰੀ ਪਾ ਉੱਠ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਗਾਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਦਿਸ਼ਤਾਂਦੀ ਦਾ ਹਨਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਗਾਣਾ ਸੁਣਾਇਆ that message ਸੁਣਾਇਆ I am not kidding you he flinched wow we were shocked ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਹੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੀ ਜਾਨ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੈ he's there he's lazy he just won't get up do you know what I mean so we tried our utmost to make sure the doctors knew he was there the rest Priya would tell you the silly things she was doing with him.
Come on, Priya, tell us what you were doing.
I would just stroke his head and tickle his feet, just kind of annoy him. And those little reactions, like his eyelids would move, he would flinch. So he was there. Okay. And every single time we, tried to tell the doctors, they wouldn't listen. They were like,
so
no.
the doctors were adamant, oh, keh rahe si ki tusi assi machine band karni. But on the basis that you saw a reaction from Safri, obviously he was flinching, he was responding, flickering his eyelids.
Yeah, even with all the voice notes.
So, fir uh to baad ki hoya? So why you obviously they didn't switch the machine off at that point.
Not at that point,
yeah.
No.
So you convinced them?
Not really.
Tell me a bit more about that.
So basically they shifted us after 3 weeks in a side room.
Okay.
So that he would be left to feel comfortable ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ ਦਵਾਈਆਂ ਵੀ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਤੀਆਂ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਵੀ ਬੰਦ
so it's almost end of life
ਜੀ
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਕਮਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭੇਜ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ peacefully so ਜਵਾਬ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸਮ ਦਾ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ so but he recovered we know that
yeah but thanks to Priya
yeah so Priya you tell me that story
what she did on that
so I went to BBC News and ITV News and everything to basically complain because we know that Dad was there he's not they're saying he wasn't there but we knew he was there and I wasn't willing to let them just write him off like that so yeah I did complain I did go to the news companies and stuff but it didn't really work they still was ready to shut the machines off
so if I can ask you a question before you went to BBC News and you told them that he is there Daddy B is very much there you must have made a video of him perhaps maybe to prove to them that he's very much there did you do that
no
and no okay so they made the decision ke assi machine band karni
so basically Priya news wal gayi main hospital sigi ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸਫਰੀ ਨੇ ਸਾਈਡ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿਫਟ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ
okay
ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਿਆ ਕਰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊਜ਼ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰੋ
yeah
ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਵੱਜ ਗਏ ਸੀ 11 ਵਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿਫਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ was about 5-6 o'clock in it ਇਹ ਵਾਪਸ ਨਾ ਆਵੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਜਦ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਗੀ ਉਹ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ which is common sense ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਾਰ ਕੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਨੀ ਤਾਂ ਕੁੜੀ ਆਵੇ ਨਾ ਆਵੇ ਐਸੀ ਕਰਨਾ we're going to switch them off so that's when I pleaded with Priya ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਆ and the rest because I didn't leave
the Priya and then what happened after that
yeah so they waited until I got there they still turned the machines off there was loads of support from the public that basically turned up at the hospital to try and stop them but they didn't care they didn't listen and it was from that night that they allowed Mom to stay in the hospital every night with him yeah so
and then what happened moving what to baad
so basically usi raat de vich Safri ne whisper ਕੀਤਾ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਪਤਾ whisper ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ 10 ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਦੇ ਸੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਿਊਬ ਪਾਈ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ you're not giving him a chance to speak or anything so that night he whispered right and I leapt up my doctor ਨੂੰ ਗਈ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ whisper ਕੀਤਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਪਾਗਲ ਆ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆ because obviously
these are the surgeons
the staff on the ward and stuff anyway they couldn't do anything ਉਸ time 4 ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ he suffered a stroke ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ look we've left him to be comfortable ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਦਵਾਈ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਡੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ nothing so obviously ਮੈਂ ਮਜਬੂਰ ਸੀਗੀ all I was doing and Priya was doing we were just talking to him constantly talking ਸਾਡਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਹਰੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ hello So the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed or he went to sleep, I was to sleep, I used to always say, oh hello. Believe it or not, ek din aisi kya within the 4 days, oh hello, unhe akha khuliya, literally just like that. ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੈਲੋ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਈਬ੍ਰੋਜ਼ ਚੁੱਕਦਾ ਸੀ. He was communicating with us with his eyes open. ਡਾਕਟਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾ ਲਿਆ, ਰਾਈਟ, 4 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਕੀਤਾ. 5th day ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ, ਬੋਲਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਅਗਾਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ, ਦਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ. ਇੱਕ ਸੀਗੀ ਇੱਕ ਕਾਲੀ ਨਰਸ, ਇੱਕ ਸੀਗੀ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਨਰਸ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਚਲ ਤੂੰ ਬੋਲ ਫਿਰ. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਫਰੀ ਕਹੋ, ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ. This is an Indian man that you're speaking in English to, right? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਤੂੰ ਬੋਲ. So I spoke to him and I go, look, ਤੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਅਗਾਰਾ ਦੇ, ਦਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਦੇ, ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੱਥ ਮੂਵ ਕਰ, ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ. ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੁੱਸੇ 'ਚ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੋਲੀ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਦੇਖ ਆਖਰੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੈ, ਜਦ ਤੂੰ ਅਗਾਰਾ ਨਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗੇਮ ਓਵਰ, ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਮਦਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ. ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਨਾ ਔਖਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸਾਹ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਹਾ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਸੁਣਦੀ ਆ, believe it or not, you know what he said? He actually said ਹਾਂ. ਉੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਨਰਸ ਸੀਗੀ, ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਨਰਸ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਅੰਕਲ ਜਸਟ ਸੈਡ ਹਾਂ. ਉਸ ਦਿਨ ਤੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੋਨੀਟਰ ਤੇ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਲਾਇਆ, ਦਵਾਈਆਂ, everything started. That's when our journey started getting him better.
That is a miracle, isn't it? That's amazing. So obviously now that he was getting his treatments and he was put back onto the medication, you know, was he getting better? How did things progress moving forward?
Priya?
He was getting better and he started to slowly talk.
Are you okay?
What's your name?
You know, sing his own songs, flirt with the nurses. Literally, he started flirting with the nurses, singing his songs to them, Bollywood songs. He would like romantic songs. He would sing to them. Like he was a miracle. Like it's mad how he was in a coma for that long and then all of a sudden
that
speaking again.
That is truly a miracle.
Yeah.
So he recovered. We're basically saying here that Safri G recovered from having a heart attack to a coma and then out of a coma for a gig. So he recovered. So what happened from then?
Well, basically, obviously his upper body was working.
Okay.
So he was saying his own name, right?
Okay.
And he was talking. I wasn't talking for him now. He was literally answering for himself now, which was literally a miracle, as Priya was telling you. I was feeding him because obviously hajode hath held nahi sige. Holy in time his hands were moving.
Yeah.
We were sitting him on a chair as well.
Okay.
So within 2 months he basically
that recovery is amazing.
It was
just
dedication.
in itself. That recovery was amazing.
It was dedication.
So okay, tell me more.
So basically, we got him better, like I said, eating, drinking, you know, he was putting not the hospital clothes on, we were putting his own clothes on, his bright, colourful shirts and whatnot, that's what Safri was. We had his barber coming all the way from Handsworth to New Cross in Wolverhampton to do his dadi. Because we knew that if he was not looking nice, he's going to go mad.
Okay.
Oh,
so he was very much in his, I've got to look good, the appearance was important.
Yeah, that was 100%.
Okay.
So we even went, that's how far we went.
Okay.
So obviously people were coming, talking to him, you know, his band members, other, you know, people, friends, close friends were coming and seeing him and everything.
So he's also getting a lot of support from outside, so everybody knew by this time when people were coming
to
visit.
Because we kept everybody updated that of his progress and stuff.
Okay.
There was a stage where nobody could come, even Priya couldn't come because COVID ward the which
yeah, that's
so obviously even she couldn't come. She was giving kapde at the ward door. So it was hard for her not to see him. I think 10 days. That's then that she couldn't even come and see him, which was heartbreaking.
But did you get to communicate with the Safri G through video calls?
It was always a video call every day.
Okay. And was he responding really well? Like he recognised you, talked to you?
Yeah. Okay. And that was the worst part, you know, leaving your mom and dad in the hospital and having to go home.
Of course.
You know, and then 10 days away from both of them. It was heartbreaking. It was horrible.
Of course, because you probably wanted to be a part of that so much.
Of course.
But you still got to see him through videos.
Yeah.
Video, you know, calls.
Video
perhaps,
calls every day, yeah.
So, all to bad for because I know family came to see him. There was a bit of a a situation around that, if I can recall. So Nikki, if you just want to explain what happened there.
So basically what happened, हरे घर दे विच कोई ना कोई member गुस्से राजी हुंदा है and everything है ना.
Yeah, of course.
And Safri didn't get on with his brother.
Okay.
So basically he came to the UK and he wanted to see his brother. It's not my call, it's not my choice, because by now Safri could talk and answer for himself. I asked him that, do you want to see his brother? कहंदा नहीं.
अच्छा, सफरी भाई ने खुद
हाँ.
अच्छा.
मैंने कहीं ने फ़ोन किया हॉस्पिटल के वो आया है मिलना चाहता हूँ. And I turned around and said, look, this is not my call. कि तुसी वीडियो कॉल and उन्हें आप गल कर लो. जिन्होंने भी फ़ोन किया, right? उन्होंने बार-बार यही उन्होंने कहा कि मैं नहीं मिलना. Right? That's between Safri and his brother. इस विच मेरा कोई रोला नहीं है. Anyway, करदे करोंदे, the medical staff asked Safri, कि do you want to see your brother? कि वो दूर आया. Safri ने सीधा ना की. So then nurse ने आके मैंने कहा कि हाँ भी उन्हें ना की. उस तो अलावा भी मैं कोशिश की वीडियो कॉल करने थ्रू अवतार विद सफरी, क्योंकि मेरा बंदा से एटलीस्ट इतना काम करना. एंड आई एम नॉट गोना लाई, राइट, फॉर 5 minutes, रिचली 5 minutes इधर सफरी होंदा सीगा, उधर अवतार होंदा सीगा. ठीक है ना?
Very sad situation.
उदो अवतार ने कहा कि पाजी मैं तेन मिलना चाहना कि खाना खा. उदो भी सफरी ने कहा कि नहीं. But for literally 5 minutes, so don't know. I'm not gonna lie about that. Which is sad, but it was out of my hands.
And it was something that you couldn't get involved in because
No,
it was
because
their
he could.
situation.
पता क्या? just Safri ना बोलता, जो गारा ना दिंदा, he couldn't answer. पर फिर वो वक्री गल सी, right?
Okay.
But the things, वो आप, he was talking for himself. वो आप गल कर सकता, आप जवाब दे सकता सीगा. वो दस का मेरे किथे दर्द है, मैं किन्ना खाना किन्ना. So he could speak. So who am I to interfere?
Okay.
So I think there's
very
a bit,
sensitive situation.
Of course, but
So,
the thing is, Ruby, if I could, sorry to interrupt you, I just want to say is because everybody says I stopped him, but I didn't.
And you're clarifying that.
I'm
कि मैं
clarifying.
किसी ने
मैंने
रोका,
उल्ट मैं वीडियो
उन्होंने
कॉल
दी अपनी decision सीगी, and as a result, सफरी भाई दी health थोड़ी
deteriorate हो गई सी. हाँ
फिर
जी.
आगे तो आगे फिर क्या हुआ? What happened then after that?
He got better. He richly got better. Priya will tell you what happened with her birthday. Sorry.
Is this the video that I think I saw on TV where they're wheeling him out? Is leaving?
No, prior to that.
Prior to that, okay.
Priya's, we had Father's Day, you know?
Yeah.
Tell
Father's
us
Day,
about that, Priya.
Queen's Jubilee as well, wasn't it? My birthday. So yeah, he was doing well.
Okay.
So that bad time that he had during like his brother coming, he just picked himself back up. And
wow, excellent.
yeah, so I celebrated my birthday in hospital with him.
With him?
With him, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Mention that time when you were listening happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah. Basically in the morning, I said to him like, I'm gonna come today to the hospital to see you, and Mum was like, sing happy birthday to her, you know, sing it now. And he
It's
was
on
like,
video call.
Yeah, it's on video call. He was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. And then he was telling me to shut up. On video call, he was like so stubborn that day. He just did not
Actually got
want to.
video.
That's amazing.
I've got a video of that as well.
He did
I
not want
noticed
to.
there's miracles along the way.
Oh, काफी सारा.
He deteriorated, health in खराब हो गई,
And he
then
picked
he
himself back
picked
up.
himself up and started again.
Yeah.
So Nikki, I want to take you back to the time when he was surrounding rehab.
So basically, we were in hospital after he got better for 1 month क्योंकि सारे बेड नहीं मिलती सी.
अच्छा.
फिर जिस दिन उन्हें बेड मिली सी ना, ऐसी see, he's a miracle. He's a legend, right? Everybody was on you. तो मैंने ये सीखा कि मैंने इतना नहीं तोड़ना. ऐसी टोल वाला सद्या. Proper like,
I saw that.
विदा किया to rehab. ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ rehab ਲੈ ਕੇ, they didn't let me stay there. Within 3 days he deteriorated, just like that. There's no loved ones there.
So if I can just ask, so from the time that you had the birthday, ठीक सी है. और तो बाद फिर he went to rehab at Mosley Hall Rehab Centre. You weren't allowed to go there.
Only
They
for
wouldn't
1
let you go there. So you only could see 1 hour. So from spending all this time at the hospital here, you only had 1 hour there. So all to baad ki hai once he was admitted, because I obviously we all know कि उन्हें दिससे फिर खराब हो गई. It got worse basically.
They were just giving him medication. They were looking after him. He was just dumped on the bed. There was an incident. Priya, what happened?
It's like one time we went there and it was so hot and the window was closed. Like he was laid in the bed with the blankets all over him and his head was like literally like down facing his tummy and he was completely out of it. For however long, we don't even know. And then they blamed him. Mom, like, when I complained whilst I sat with him, and they were blaming him. For like,
how were they blaming him? Ki keh rahe se?
They were saying that he must have just slipped down in the bed and done that, but he's
But they
completely
have a
out of
duty of
it.
care.
Exactly. It was fully neglect. They just left him there,
There was
basically
a
a child
time
to die.
Yeah, there was a time where they just dumped him on the chair, and we have videos, we have pictures to prove what we're saying. He was just dumped there. It was heartbreaking.
It looked like he was so drugged up.
Yeah.
That's how it looked. You know?
Okay.
So basically, after that, that's when he got admitted into QE hospital.
Okay.
So yeah, that's when you.
Yeah, they were trying to find out what was wrong with him in QE. 3 days after rehab, admitted into QE, they did loads of tests because he went in a deep sleep now.
So this is at mostly whole hospital. This is at the rehab where he deteriorated. So that he was then admitted to QE.
And then that's where he was in a deep sleep, and they were trying to figure out what's wrong with him. Has he had another stroke? Just basically what's going on. After I think it was 2 days, they found out he caught pneumonia. Obviously, we hit the roof. Okay, this shouldn't have happened. So I complained to Moseley Hall. They gave me a 20-page report saying that they took responsibility of neglect. So
Like, sorry to put in, like they were feeding him when he was unconscious. So you know, like you're feeding a person like that. How is the food gonna go down to their stomach?
To his chest.
So are
he
you
just stayed
telling
on the
me
chest the
that
whole time.
they actually accept liability? ਉਹਨੇ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ we neglected him. We didn't look after him well.
Yeah.
It's 20 page of that report, yes.
Okay. So then QE ਉੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ?
So basically after 3 days, they found out he had
Pneumonia.
He was on medication and stuff.
Okay.
I think because I was constantly at the hospital, I couldn't see what everybody else could see. He was deteriorating, but I couldn't see that. I couldn't see literally that he's lost weight and all the rest of it because I was constantly there. Basically, I think it was 5 days later, I had people coming in. I could tell Priya was there. You know, everything did that with New Cross karte sige. Anyway, one day they said it was 24 hours. Every 24 hours he gave. ਉਹ ਬਚਦਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਹਨੇ ਬਚ
So ਮਤਲਬ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਕਿ this is his survival, we don't know what's going to happen after, and every time he pulled through.
every time.
Okay.
And this time he pulled through. Basically ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ 7 ਵਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸਵੇਰ ਦਾ. Priya was on standby. Prior to that ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਰਸ ਨੇ ਫੋਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਕਿ ਖੋਲੀ ਡੋਠਾ ਕਿ he's gone. I phoned her. ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ false alarm. Then I phoned her.
6:15 in the morning that was.
And then I phoned her. मैं कर रहा था ठीक है. She was like obviously she went mad with me, but he was fine. 7 बज गए बिल्कुल ठीक. डॉक्टर कहते कि दवाइयां देने का कोई फायदा नहीं है एंटीबायोटिक्स क्योंकि कोई असर नहीं बनता कि he's fine ਉਹਦਾ observe everything but को सब ठीक ठाक है.
Okay.
So ठीक है प्रिया आराम ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਪਈ ਸੀਗੀ. And then at 11:10 it was like he had a ਔਖਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸਾਹ. And I jumped up. I'm like, what the hell? You know that
11 ਵਜੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ in the morning. Okay.
And it's like, nah, it can't be.
Now coming back to what did you see on other
It's the way he was breathing. The Sajah Sabna.
What did you feel?
It was not normal. It was not a normal breathing. Instantly you think.
It was like heavy or deep breathing.
It was just, I can't explain it to you, but it was like, it wasn't right.
Okay.
So basically what I did was I cradled him in my arms, pressed the buzzer. Then I called Priya and I thought, oh no, what am I doing, video caller? Then I said to her, Priya, I think he's going. Literally like that. You know when you have this instant, I was cradling him and then I video called her. She was talking to him, obviously.
And I think Nikki also, you were prepared.
I wasn't.
The staff had already said they kept on giving me this 24 hours.
No, this was the first 24 hours they gave, but he passed that. So I wasn't prepared. None of us was, because we had that 24 hours.
So when you saw the deep breathing, what did the market give? What were you thinking?
I can't explain it to you. It's just, it wasn't normal. It just felt something wasn't right.
Okay.
I can't explain it to you.
Okay.
All I knew was just to pick him up and cradle him. and video called Priya.
Did you feel at that time that perhaps
I felt,
this
yes.
was the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I instantly video called Priya.
Achha, okay.
And then
Yeah, I was like literally 5 minutes in the taxi, away from the hospital, and yeah, like that's when he took his last like final breath with me on video, and it was awful.
So are we right in saying that Safri G did pass away then?
yes.
He did.
Okay. It must have been a very difficult time, obviously, for yourselves and everybody else, really. We did deeply care for him as well. We're talking about his fans.
Well, basically, if I can just interrupt there, when Priya did turn up, you know, when the clock ticking, every day, like you couldn't even hear a pin drop. It just felt like that until she came, and then when she did come, all I could hear was just footsteps running down the corridor. As soon as she walked in, I stepped away from the bed because I didn't know what to do. I was just in pure shock. She just leapt on him. She just jumped on the bed, shaking him, getting him up, but obviously he had already gone. But again, like when he was in a coma, I rang, you know, his band members, and it was a band member that called Brit Asia.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Well, he leaked it, Priya.
Simon from the Safri boys, basically, they leaked it out, and 2 minutes after Dad had passed away.
So he leaked out the fact that Safri G had passed.
Yeah,
Okay.
our phones were just ringing, like texts, calls, everything, 2 minutes after. I'm not
Okay.
trying to be rude, but I do believe that that was fully disrespectful. We didn't even process what had just happened, you know,
Yeah.
and then we're just getting like bombarded with like calls and
And
stuff.
girl, obviously everybody found out.
Everything,
But
yeah.
you know, the whole world, just so to speak. So your phone call started. If you can just explain to me what happened sort of immediately after Safri G passed away. What was the process involved? I mean, I can see there was so much bahut kuch hoya. There's a lot that you both went through as two young women to take on so much, and then the aftermath of his passing. Just explain to me ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ? So he's passed. Obviously it's been leaked. ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਗਿਆ, phone call ਆ ਰਹੇ. ਫਿਰ obviously funeral ਦੀ arrangement ਕਰਨਾ. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ, you know, just explain to us. ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਬੀਤੀ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ experience ਕੀਤਾ?
So basically, when he passed away, the following day we had his so-called friends come to the house asking for a blue diary. I mean, it's not even been 24 hours, he's passed, and then asking for a blue
When you
diary.
say
Saying that they want his blue diary with songs in there. Like, he hasn't even passed away 24 hours, and you're coming to the house and asking that. The hate started then, didn't it? Because nobody was allowed to come to the house and pay their respects. It was done at a temple, which we couldn't get our head around. Why are you taking that away from us? Whoever wants to come to the house can pay their respects. But
so it was almost like ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੋਈ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ, people that were there through all that situation, that circumstance, when they came in, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਢਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ, like you were irrelevant. Okay, I get you. Okay, so and then what happened?
Obviously, we made arrangements for the funeral and stuff. There were other people involved, bullying us, threatening us. This is how the funeral should be. This is how the funeral shouldn't be. But at the end of the day, what right have you guys put your input in? And not just that, at one time the body was seized. When I say body was seized, Safri's body, dead body was seized.
By who?
By so-called family. But even then I had to prove who I was, which that's really disgraceful at the end of the day, isn't it, Priya?
Yeah.
I mean, what we went through that journey of even the funeral, being disrespectful, being bullied, being threatened. We had people well-known people coming to the house, and we were literally on our knees, asked them just to leave us. So even till today, we haven't grieved for him. And it's not just that. Once the funeral...
Sorry, how would you be able to grieve if, like, you've got all of these people just being there just to bully you? It's like one thing after another. How can you grieve? You know, you've been in that situation of Dad being in the coma, then coming out. They're going
Dealing with that, ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹੀ situation ਹੈ, ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚੋ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਟਰੋਮਾ ਹੈ ਉਸ situation ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, I feel ਜਿੱਦਾਂ there was nobody on your side. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ feel ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ explain ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਕੱਲੀਆਂ ਹੀ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਆਪੇ ਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਔਰ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਡੈਥ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ funeral ਦੇ arrangement and then you're saying you were bullied by these people that you the men people that Safri G must have trusted that were a part of his life once upon a time ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ they were his friends. Are you telling me that these very people you felt bullied by?
Yeah,
Not
100%.
You were bullied.
We were bullied.
Okay. So, and so what happened after that?
Obviously, even at the funeral, there was fights taking place.
At the funeral?
Mhm.
Okay, do you want to talk about that? Or
Just his friends, again from Coventry, just thinking they could run the funeral on their terms, but it's not a wedding, it's not a party, it's a funeral. We're saying goodbye to a loved one, regardless. However, I mean, it was an open funeral for anybody to come. Who are we to have a private funeral? He wasn't our Safri, he was a world Safri, do you know what I mean? And we wanted to share that with everyone as well, because it's wrong if we took it away.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's a brilliant thing to do. That was lovely. He was everybody's.
Exactly. And not just that, Priya will tell you how we felt at the end of the funeral, isn't it? Of what exactly happened, which nobody knows about.
Do you want to explain that?
Yeah,
Can
you
talk
know,
about it?
yeah.
Okay.
You know, like his children, you know, like when it comes to pressing the button, it's the way they done it that just, even till this day, it's like it haunts me. You know, pressing that button and...
Is this cremating him?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a crematorium jithe or family because to see and let him go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the way they press that button. You know, the glass is there. They had their backs towards the glass. And then one person goes, "Are you guys ready?" And then they just press the button. Is that how you say bye to somebody that you love? Is that how you say bye to a person?
What was Safri G's only relationship? How was his relationship with his children? Like, did he ever speak about his children when he was alive? What was that situation?
All the time, but they didn't want to know him.
Okay.
He always spoke to them about, like, to me and Mum.
Yeah.
And we was always open to talking about them as well, because they were his children at the end of the day.
Of
You know?
course.
So we didn't have no problem, but they didn't want no part with him, did they? That's what I'm saying.
And you felt that till the end when, you know, they were told to press the button, it didn't feel right, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Their
it did
behaviour?
not feel right, no.
Okay.
Their behaviour was, sorry, go on.
Sorry, just to interrupt. It's just one important thing I want to say. With us Asians, they say when a family member has passed and gone, his brother was there. Why wasn't his brother allowed to carry his own brother's coffin? I feel that's disrespectful that they did that to him. He wasn't allowed to hold his picture, he wasn't allowed to hold the coffin. He was like a spare part, just standing next to them and walking. What right did the band members have? What right
Do you feel that the band members took control?
At the crematorium, yes.
Achha.
But his brother was there alive. He should have been able to carry his brother.
You know, it's the family that come forward and pick up, whether it's the coffin or whether it's cremating somebody, it's the immediate family, am I right?
That's correct.
Okay.
But they pushed him out on the side, which I think that was really disrespectful. What you're going to do with this, you're going to do with this. But you've actually done it with his own brother as well, which that was very heartbreaking as well, isn't it?
We was that scared, like, leading up to the funeral, that, because we had people knocking on the door, early hours, we had, like, people threatening us. We literally turned up to the funeral with a bodyguard, didn't we? Nobody knew there was a bodyguard there for us. That's how scared we was.
But just explain to me, Nikki and Priya, both of you, why were people targeting you? You had gone through a very traumatic experience. Why did you feel bullied? Why
Because
did you feel targeted? Muslim, I'm trying to understand that.
We are his family member. So basically, obviously, being a famous person, being a legend, it was those people, friends, band people wanted they wanted to do Safri's funeral, but we're his family. We had a right to do it, and he told us how he wanted his funeral done. Do you know what I mean? They couldn't take the fact that we're doing it. that's the only two women, a mother and daughter, has taken over doing the funeral the right way, but we didn't put Safri on show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They wanted control, but we were doing it as he was our family member.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? We've been with him, we know everything about him, how he wanted his funeral. That's why we were told it, because we didn't basically hand him over to them, if that makes sense.
Okay. I think that's very unfair for them to do that, obviously. But it is what it is. And I'm really sorry that you went through all that, because I can feel your pain. So, Nikki and Priya, I'm very saddened to hear the story behind Safri's journey, Safri G's journey. But justice will be done. You know, we know what happened, you know what happened. And everybody will find out what happened. So it is the truth behind closed doors. And I'd like to thank you both for coming today to GAJ Records. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for your openness. Is there anything else you wish to end today on?
I would just like to say there's a lot of weight lift off our shoulders today, because we were able to talk about it and to share and tell the truth. And just to also say thank you to GAJ Records for giving us this opportunity, this platform for us to speak on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Allah ne basmani